I can barely think anymore without picturing that wretched old hag. This must end soon. Every day I've come home plotting my revenge, plotting but never acting. Well, no more. No more.
Mr. Martin sits back, thinking of his case against Miss Burrows. He reflects on an encounter with his hated coworker a week ago. A distraught Mr. Martin enters his office, suffering from the stress of a hard day's work. Boo, did I get you? Are all these files really necessary?
Absolutely, Mrs. Barrows. Each of those files contains detailed information about the inner workings of this store.
Mr. Martin realized as an offended Miss Burrows left that she was planning to destroy the department that he loved so much. Mr. Martin went to his boss, Mr. Fittweiler, to protest the behavior of Miss Burrows.
Sir, I was wondering if I might speak to you about Mrs. Barrows.
Go ahead, what's the problem?
Well, sir, lately Mrs. Barrows has been reorganizing a lot of these departments, and I'm wondering if it's wise to put someone with her little experience in charge of something like that.
Now, you're an excellent employee, but Mrs. Barrows has excellent ideas. Just give them a little time, it'll work.
Mr. Martin walks to Miss Burrows' house. He reviews his plan to dispatch of Miss Burrows while en route to her house. He plans to arrive at 10 p.m. but realizes he left too early. He changes his path to take more time in hope of fewer people being near her house at that hour.
Well, look who it is, Mr. Martin. What are you doing here? Why do you look so pale?
Is anybody else here?
No? Come on in. Take off your jacket, your hat, your gloves. You want a Jack and Coke? Oh wait, you don't drink.
Jack and Coke is fine. Too dull. But why dispatch of her when I can just...
Here's your Jack and Coke. Why don't you take off your gloves?
I always keep my gloves on.
What a quaint little man you are, Mr. Martin. Sitting here drinking and smoking? What a sight.
I always drink and smoke. Well, here's that old quack Fittweiler.
Really, Mr. Martin? That's our boss.
Nah, I'm building a bomb right now. A bomb so big it'll blow Fittweiler straight to hell.
Are you on drugs?
Heroin. I'll be flying as high as a kite when I bump off the old man. But not a word to anyone, Mrs. Barrows. I hold all the cards right now.
Are you really?
As Mr. Martin walked home, he felt wonderful. When he arrived home, he drank 2 glasses of milk, brushed his teeth, and was in bed before midnight. Mr. Martin arrived to work at 8:30 as he normally did. Miss Burrows barged into his office at 8:45, despite never having showed up to work before 10 a.m.
Mr. Martin, I'm reporting you to Mr. Fittweiler, and I hope he calls the cops. What was that about?
I have
Miss Burrows spent 45 minutes in Fittweiler's office before going back to her own. Mr. Martin was sent for 30 minutes after that.
Yes, sir?
Yes, Martin, come in. I just finished speaking with Mrs. Barrows. Do you drink or smoke?
No.
Very well then. What were you doing last night?
Last night I went to dinner at Hooters, went home, and read a magazine, and I was in bed before 11 o'clock.
Now, Miss Barrows is definitely suffering from delusions. She said you were drinking and smoking last night.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
He's denying it, isn't he? You liar! You called Mr. Fittweiler an old quack and said you were going to blow him to hell while you're on heroin. I can't believe you're going to let him get away with this.
I'm very sorry you had to see this. I'm going to escort Mrs. Barrows out of here.
As Mr. Martin walked back to his office, he showed no trace of emotions, of happiness, relief, or regret.
Hello?
Who holds the cards now?
Aqualung, my friend, don't you start away uneasy. You poor old sod, you see it's only me.
sing in the park.